Welcome back to a look at Dirty Bomb and a discussion about recent changes. Yes, we haven't talked about DB in a while, but the whole thing feels like it's in something of a holding pattern of some kind, waiting for the fabled 1.0 release. In the meantime, we've had some non-load-bearing changes in the shape of a balance update and some niceties, like the apparent cyberpunk escapee Skyhammer Obsidian card. You know the likes of Faceit are coming, for those still looking for a competitive experience, but with things like the borderline embarrassing Steam trading saga still rumbling on, actual new things to talk about feel decidedly thin on the ground. The big news for me for the July 24th update was something I literally never thought I'd see in DB. I'd always presumed that splash damage would gate off general weapon case skins to paying customers only, and offer free keys as a tantalising short-term offer for those with shallower pockets. So tickle my Timic if they haven't allowed them to be purchasable via credits right now. You can pay 14,500 credits per key, so they're not cheap, but it means if you've been a long-term player with a bunch of credits stashed in the bank, or someone inclined to farming them, then you can get some of those previously premium-only goodness. In conjunction to that, they also increased the drop rate of the cases by a whopping 70% as well, which is nice. And to be honest, they didn't feel like they dropped that often beforehand. The actual balance changes we saw were broadly positive in my opinion. They seem to be generally in the direction that the community wishes and not overly contentious. The burst rifles took a mild buff to bring them back into line. As you know, I'm no fan of those, but I can appreciate that they were a notch underperforming after that sizeable nerf they took some while back now. The Dryce buff too is wholly welcomed. Indeed, let's return it to the time when you could accurately fire as fast as you could click your mouse. Rumours that I want it to be OP again, as I have the Dryce contraband weapon skin, are both unsubstantiated and true. The nerf to shotguns while jumping is perhaps long overdue. Facing a bunny-hopping proxy is both irritating and humbling when they shred you with ease. I'm hoping this disincentivizes people from playing in that such way. The sniper changes look initially like more of a quality of life change more than anything else, though I am struck with the worry that lowering the time it takes for them to swap a weapon after firing will indirectly make it more difficult to close the distance to them and then engage them in a non-sniping fight. After all, Vasily has access to machine pistols, and don't get me started on that, I've long argued that he never should have had them. If he can now take a shot and be ready quicker with that Empire 9 or whatever, this change might feel impactful for other classes too, though if it is just a quality of life change for snipers then great, I'm all for rounding off those corners. If you are of the scoped persuasion, please leave me a comment letting me know how you feel about this change directly, or if anyone else has any opinions about the knock-on effects at all. Fletcher has had his sticky bomb explosion radius decreased from 4.16 meters to 3.76 meters, and honestly this was probably long overdue too. He's long become a spam option, so seeing the reduction in the volume of those explosions reduced by 26% feels like a step in the right direction. The Guardian buffs are great. The increased health on pop revives in particular should be singled out. For a non-healing medic, having people only barely back on their feet meant choosing whether to charge the revive instead. Now people are a more robust 50 health, even if you don't have that charging time. I understand the goal in making her shield more palatable for attacking players, but reducing the overall lifespan of the shield by a couple of seconds harms her general utility in my opinion. I don't recall ever thinking that it was active for a particularly long period of time. Rhinos' minor health nerf is probably in line with what the community wants honestly, but I didn't have much of a problem with him in his previous state, so a 10% health nerf doesn't feel too bad for Rhino players. Of much more importance is the wonderful return of the 2% hitbox nerf meme. A welcome homecoming for this beloved member of the Dirty Bomb family. Javelin can be a contentious character, and I'm mainly talking about her voice lines here, but her objective damage from rockets has taken a sizable buff. It does make me wonder how fast she can pop gens now though her increased damage to the EV, particularly in comparison to something like Skyhammer's airstrike, does seem fair. Finally on the balance changes we have Turtle, and the changes seem to target those people who are mainly min-maxing how they play him. The big one is a solid nerf to the cooldown reduction if you pick up a deployed shield, from 65% down to 35%, and also gunfire is now taking full damage to the shield as well. This should lead to fewer turtle nests in locations like Bridge Gen Room, where wily players could watch their shield health go down, pick it up, get that 65% cooldown reduction, and replace it soon enough. It feels like a positive step, like many of these others. But with Jav's newfound objective damage, care needs to be taken to make sure these things are not overly easy for attacking players now. I'd say most of those changes were decent on the whole, but do let me know your thoughts and feelings in the comments below right now. I read every single post. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, please consider hitting that thumb up and subscribe button. It helps me make videos just like this one. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time. Take care.